your butt elevate. And your butt elevate. Six figure money. I need some figure money. Fuck why I been on dummy. Shooting hell, I been on dummy. Shooting hell. If I am today, if I am this rat, it's my hell. If I feel this rat, on the hell away. I know shots, but it's not swim away. I'm shot, they swim away. I ain't got back rockin', then I throw it away. This a hollow get away. This a hollow tip.
Man, what's going down with everybody out there, gang? Welcome back to Let's Talk Everything 414 podcast. Y'all already know what up with me. I am your host, Corner Slaughter. Right. I need that round of applause, right? You feel me? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And this channel, we like to talk, we like to learn, and we like to grow, gang. And that's the only thing I like to do. I don't know what y'all like to do out there, but look, I got Elizabeth April right here, from her to your screen. You feel me? Through my screen. You feel me? These are one of these exclusive reviews and overtake of understanding, you know, the clones and the new updates on the clones, gang. For those of y'all that never knew. You feel me? So dive in with me. We finna see what's up with this shit, man. We finna take a peek.
I actually ended up seeing stuff about the scientists that have gone missing, which is actually a bigger part of this discussion. So we've got a lot to get to. I'm going to talk about how to spot a clone, the process of cloning, the cloning facilities, where they're at right now. And then I even saw, like, from a clone's perspective, do they know that they're a clone, you know, or not, you know? So I kind of saw the other end of it, which was really fascinating today. And then we're going to talk about the next couple of years and what that's going to look like. So I guess today's conversation is more so about the broader scheme of the shadow government, what their big plans are, why they're replacing everyone with clones, why that's a big deal, and what we're going to see. And we're already seeing it. So it's a lot to uncover, but let's just dive right into it. Please, guys, if you are new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button or check out some of my other social medias. You'll get very small clips of the bigger, longer form content. So I am really grateful that you guys spend 20, 30 minutes with me every week watching the longer form content, because I find that the clips are like junk food. You know, that's great. Thanks for staying around for 2 minutes, but it's not everything. So I really do appreciate the ones who watch the longer stuff. Okay, so let's just talk about how to spot a clone. Now, first of all, it's typically always someone of influence. You're not going to have your average like neighbor or, I don't know, like coworker be a clone. Okay, it just doesn't happen, because cloning is a very scientific thing. This is not a spiritual thing. This is very like mathematical, and it takes a lot of money to create a clone. And now that the technology is increasing and cloning is getting easier and less expensive, they're doing it a lot more, and they're doing it a lot more for other reasons too. So once again, we're going to talk about that today. Now, how to spot a clone. So typically someone of influence, usually there will be like time away from the spotlight. Okay, so that could be like a wellness facility, or it could be rehab, or it could be whatever. Obviously, if it's not time away from the spotlight, you know, then maybe it's a health crisis or something like that. But essentially, you know, they're not really in the public eye for I would say like 6 to 8 months. Okay.
I can't lie. We've seen a few artists, you know, take this leap right here where they go on a missing hiatus for quite some time. A lot of us be wondering, like, damn, what happened to them? What took place? You feel me? Where did they go? Why are they missing in action? All of the above, you know. Now, knowing that they've been doing cloning for some years, I remember years ago when they did show something on Fox 6 about them having a first cloned ear, you know, and that shit was scary as hell. It shocked the hell out of me. I was like, because I didn't know what to think behind that. I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? What should we expect? What should we think behind this cloning shit, right? Like she said, it's very expensive. I'm sure it's a scientific type of study, type of experiment, you know, that we, the people, should not know nothing about. But with everything coming out, like it is. Everything being exposed and disclosed. Everything being talked about. You feel me? Like I think I wouldn't, doubt that there was clones out here. I wouldn't doubt it. Not for a second. Because you got to think about something, man. They experiment on everything around the world. They got a lot of studies. They got a lot of testing they do. You feel me? They got a lot of underground facilities. They got a lot of things we haven't seen yet. You understand what I'm saying? And then, there's some things out there that some of y'all don't even want to believe. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I can say that I do believe her. She's a remote viewer. She's one of the greatest out there. So we got to give her a round of applause. So let's go, because I love all of her videos. You feel me? Subscribe to her channel if you haven't, and while you're doing that, subscribe to mine also. Let's dive back into this.
Tendency to come back into the spotlight in a really big way. Maybe it's like this brand new movie premiere. Maybe it's like this crazy radical idea that they're posting about. But they usually come into the spotlight in a big way, or accepting an award, for example, like Jim Carrey. That's usually a test to see how the cloning, if they got away with this person being a clone, they will obviously have a sudden change of appearance. Typically, we see that the clones have a lot of plastic surgery. Funny enough, like clones don't come out looking like that, but they typically give them a lot of plastic surgery to cover up the potential differences that there could be, like a missing tattoo or something, with sort of this plastic surgery distraction. That's really what it is. Oh, they're different. It must be the weird plastic surgery, right? So sudden change of appearance is the most obvious.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. You just need a concept and a way to record it.
Sign, right? And then also a sudden change of beliefs. Now, maybe this doesn't happen right away. Maybe it happens in time, but I have seen a lot of people be replaced and then come out with some really wild, like anti, you're against like certain religions, or you're really for certain religions, like a really big change in belief. And then also clones could potentially glitch out as well. Now, back in the day, sort of MK Ultra programming and the clone program would glitch people out. And the glitches looked like it could be stutters, it could be freezing, like randomly, I don't know, in the middle of a live interview, obviously. We only see the glitches in real time in live interviews because most of the time that stuff is buried. Eye twitches when like one eye opens and closes weird. Or sometimes they just totally like blank out. Like there's just nothing there, nothing going on.
Everything she said, is quite interesting, gang. Because I've done seen videos all over social media sites showing certain celebrities do the things she just named. And one of them is my favorite, Eminem, man. That's my favorite rap artist. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, but he got some funny videos about him glitching. You know what I'm saying? About him stopping the glitch. And I don't know to believe it. I don't know. If I should believe it or not. Honestly, I don't know, gang. Honestly, I can't say what I think because I understand this shit. I understand how I really, but I also understand the times we're living in right now is one of the most, magnificent and greatest times to manipulate people in. You feel me? It's one of the times the elites are working their devil magic. You feel me? That's what I call it. They devil magic because they manipulating the world. They're distracting the world. They got a lot of problems going on everywhere. Everybody energy level is at the ultra lowest. You feel me? And I don't know if everybody trying to mentally climb higher. You feel me? Consciously climb higher and build their energy level up to get to the top. But it don't seem like it. You know what I'm saying? It really don't. I see too many people giving up. I see too many people believing in all the stereotypical or negative narratives around them or negative sceneries around them. I see too many people walking out on situations that can be easily overturned, you feel me, with a little bit of thought process and a little bit of, you feel me, conversation. And I think this shit is becoming worse than what we all imagined. If some of y'all imagined it. Now, don't get it twisted. She one of the greatest. So let's dive back into her video, because she gonna tell us a lot about these clones. And I hope none of you motherfuckers out there is clones. I hope none of y'all that come to my channel is clones, gang. You understand what I'm saying?
Much more common, even like 10, 20 years ago. Nowadays, they've worked out a lot of the kinks. So let's talk a little bit about the process, or the process, Canadian American, the process of cloning. So here's what I've seen, and this is all that I know is what I've seen in these underground cloning facilities. And then I'll talk about what I literally just saw today with where we're at with cloning and what they're planning next, because it's pretty wild. So they will essentially clone, right, your human body. They have to get your DNA somehow, but that's all usually written in like these Illuminati contracts, these shadow government contracts. We'll give you fame and fortune, and you give us your body, your likeness, your everything. So that also includes now.
Hey, when she said something about getting your DNA, right away I thought about the doctors and places like donation places. You feel me? You know how they say something like your blood didn't go through or something, you got to give another tube of blood. And I'm like, damn, how many tubes of blood you motherfuckers want? You feel me? How many tubes of blood you motherfuckers gonna take from me, gang? You understand? And I always said that, I've been saying that for years, like, gang, they trying to clone us. They getting our blood. They trying to clone us, gang. Think about it. Like, why they want so many blood samples? Like, come on, man. They want so much DNA so they can take your shit and make another you.
Like, they've already signed over rights to their name and their likeness for fame and riches and fortune and power and control, or whatever it is that they really wanted. So now it's like they're signing over rights to their likeness with AI, and that's going to be a huge sort of deep fake type of thing that we're going to see more and more of. And then also signing over your likeness in relation to cloning, right? Now, initially it was sort of like, hey, you're giving us rights to your body. We're going to take over your body through a traditional possession. Now with technology advancement, we've got things like AI and cloning to completely take over someone's likeness and body and personality and everything in the biggest way possible, right? So they will basically grow a body, a clone body. And sometimes they grow a couple of clone bodies, like it could be 2 or 3. It depends on the person's influence, essentially. And then they will transfer. Okay, this is where it gets weird. Essentially, I saw this like clone body in a chair in this facility, and they have these, it looks like these tubes, and inside the tubes are souls or consciousness. Oddly enough, those souls signed up to do that as well, which is weird to me, but it is what it is, I guess. And so then they take those canisters, is what it looks like. They put it into a machine and they transfer the consciousness into the clone body. And then this is like the longest, other than growing the body, it's programming the new consciousness.
Now that's deep. That's deep, y'all. By far, that's deep. I'm exercising. By far, that's deep, gang. Like, I ain't never heard no shit like this. But I always knew that they was working on something like this, and I ain't even gonna lie to you. With the last videos I just posted up, and they time traveling and shit like that, it's very possible that they've been doing this. It could be very possible that they've been transferring consciousness into, you feel me, clone bodies, machines, robots, and all the above. You know, we never knew. Nobody ever dug into researching. Everybody that possibly could have worked with these people that created this type of technology possibly could have been killed over the years. You understand what I'm saying? Like the rest of these scientists that are being murdered. I'm saying, like, think about it. Use your mind. Use your mind a little bit. Like, What makes somebody create these type of rumors? Me personally, I always said this. People don't just come out with these type of rumors for nothing. This type of information don't get leaked for nothing. This type of information, workers and whistleblowers do not try to become whistleblowers and workers for nothing. Overall, you understand what I'm saying? I gotta make sure my camera screen is, you feel me, at the ultra goodest. Yeah, that's how I feel. I definitely feel like that. And I feel like a lot of times, gang, uh we feel like, these people are lied to us. No, I don't think they lying. Me personally, I don't think they lying. Personally, I don't think they bullshit. I just don't. I never would. You know what I'm saying? What reason would they lie for? What reason would they lie for? What do they have to lie for us? To us, we ain't millionaires. You understand? We ain't rich or nothing. It goes back to tell you, like, when not Elon Musk, Epstein was talking about he wanted to impregnate women with his, his seeds. That way he can make a race of super intelligent babies and things like this. Like, gang, what the fuck is really going on? Could he have been a clone of some super intelligent nation or race? You know what I'm saying? Like, with all this alien talk, and they said, we got every alien DNA inside of us. They said we are aliens' children. You understand what I'm saying? So I want to know, like, somebody gotta be able to break this down for us, gang. Because, like I said, our own government been lying to us for years. So is they the ones we want to believe? Is them the motherfuckers we want to go to for answers? I'm just saying. I don't. So
physical body together to act and mimic and have the same mannerisms and the same actions and the same accents and the same even memories as that individual, which is fascinating. And one of the things is, like, it does look like MK Ultra, like almost like a newer version of MK Ultra. Like, it's almost like a VR experience, and they're sitting in this chair that looks like a dentist chair, and they're hooked up to these machines, and they are forced to watch. It could be videos, it could be whatever, the experience. And I'm sure that they have, even now thinking about it, AI videos or whatever of that person. I don't know how they do it, but essentially they force sort of this programming, and then there's like little electroshock, kind of like electroshock therapy. And I'm not sure if this like sort of activates the neural pathways of their brain, and like almost like a torture mechanism to, once again, MK Ultra programming, to enmesh the identity of the person that's being taken over. What I've seen is this is about a 6 to 8 month process of programming them. So it takes quite a while. And they're growing the clone body. And I don't know how long it takes to grow a clone body. It could be maybe a couple of years, but they're growing that clone body for quite some time. And it costs, I don't know how much, but tens of millions, hundreds of millions, I'm not sure, per body. So that's what I've seen as far as like, how does it function? Then today, I also saw the other side. The flip side is, how does a clone know it's a clone? That's a question that I have not looked into yet. And I got an answer. The majority of the time, like maybe 80, 90% of the time, a clone has no idea it's a clone, which is kind of wild.
On July 1st, 1941, at 2:29 p.m. exactly, Bulova aired the first.
There are certain things that could like wake that clone up. It would be the repressed memories of the cloning facility. That's what it would be, right? That would all of a sudden come out.
It sounds like what they said about us when they said we don't remember that we are not from Earth, we are not humans. You feel me? That's what it sounds like, because she just said the clones don't even know that they are clones. I ain't saying she lied, but I'm saying, like, it sounded like what they were saying to us. Humans do not remember their abilities, their powers, they star families. You feel me? Some of us don't know we are star seeds, we are rainbow babies, we are, you feel me, angelics, and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, like, I understand she said because the recompressed memory, or I want to make sure I said it correctly. Hold on.
oh my goodness, I could like wake that clone up, it would be the repressed memories of the cloning facility. That's what it would be.
The repressed memories. You feel me? And I think that's what it is with us. I think when everybody was born as babies, when they take you to that back room in the hospital, gang, I think they put some goddamn medicine, some magic medicine inside of us as babies and make us forget everything. I'm just saying, because it only makes sense. It only makes sense. Like, these movies wouldn't show us all this shit inside of it, you know, for nothing, if none of this shit was able to be made, created, or if they haven't already had it. You know, I was just saying that. I said, man, if you look at it, every movie, they do give us a hint about everything. You know what I'm saying? And all these ideas from movies, even some of the greatest movies, couldn't have come from nowhere. These people need people they could talk to and stories that they can gather from around the world and make movies out of these goddamn stories. You understand me? I'm just saying, what would you do? You know, what would you do if you was a millionaire, my nigga, and you can buy a clone? You know, you probably finna go buy a clone. You probably go finna buy a clone. You know, you want to make that motherfucker just like you, so it can go to work for you, do your job. You feel me? Come back home and do your housework, so on and so forth. After a while, you're gonna have that motherfucker doing everything for you, so you can hide out at a secret house or something like that. You understand? I just think this shit is far-fetched, you know, and I don't mean far-fetched like fake, but far-fetched as in why they didn't never tell us. Why? I already know why. Because motherfuckers like us, the civilians, the regular people, gonna be scared as hell. Ain't gonna know what to do. Mass hysteria. You understand what I'm saying? So, but we gonna keep diving into this right here because I think she ain't got long. Let me see. Oh, yes, she do. She got long. So we're gonna let her do her thing, man. Let's dive.
All of a sudden come out and they would be like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I'm a real human, right? Which would be kind of like an existential crisis, you would think. So for the majority of the time, they go to this retreat, this wellness retreat, or maybe a rehab. They come back, they're slightly different, I guess, right, to other people, but they think that they're just continuing to live their life. Maybe they forget the name of a neighbor down the street that wasn't programmed, and then they learn that, and that's kind of weird. And there's like, oh, there's these kind of weird memory glitches that I'm having. But other than that, they kind of carry on that person's life as if they are that person, which once again, sounds like a horror movie. Like, it's a little freaky, right? Just my personal opinion. So that was fascinating. I've never looked at that side of things. What else? So, okay, looking to replace, yes. Hold on, I'm just reading my notes. Releasing a clone, awareness of themselves. Okay, great. So let's talk about global updates. All right. So now I kind of got away from the old information and into the updated information. So I wanted to take a look at this massive cloning facility that I went to back in 2010 or 2011 when I first started remote viewing, and I stumbled across this facility looking for underground military bases. Back then, the cloning facility was practically empty. I saw a couple of workers. I saw quite a few of these sort of giant machines and like test tubes, to the point where I kind of recognized where I was and it freaked me out. And back then I was like, there is no way I'm ever telling anyone what I found. Like, they will take me out. Nowadays I feel safe-ish, but I do want to talk about what they're doing with these scientists and these other experts, because that came up. Okay, so I went back to this facility and it is like packed to the brim with technology, and it is packed to the brim with people, with workers. Most of the workers were in these like white lab coats, and they're all busy. They're doing things. It looked like the facility had expanded exponentially. And I don't know why, but like, it was my first thought. I think it's like a very human thought of, there are so many people, but real people. Well, never really even thought about that, but there are so many people here working for this facility. You would think that they're going to blow a whistle, right? Like, you would think that, now that I thought of it, like literally this just came to my mind. This is such a weird thought, but
I want to say it. I want to say it before she do. I wonder if she thinking, what if they got clones? The people that's in there is clones, so they don't blow a whistle, so they can't blow a whistle. And that's even scary. You see what I'm saying? That's what I think she might say. Like, damn, what if these motherfuckers is clones in here? Because if they clones, then look, you already know they made them so they can't blow a whistle. Them clones ain't finna tell nothing, and they already got a program in their mind to where they will not tell. You understand what I'm saying? If these governments, these governmental elites, or these top-notch, top-ranking motherfuckers is working at a scale like this and a level like this, then you better believe, why wouldn't they make some type of medicine or some type of off switch so the clone wouldn't be able to tell or blow a whistle? You feel me? But let's see if she gonna say that though. I want to know. Let's see.
Validate later. What if, just going to put this out there because this is crazy, but what if there was a celebrity, okay, or an A-lister that they had a bunch of clones of, say 3 clone renditions, and that celebrity got into a freak accident or ended up passing away very suddenly, very publicly, and they were not able to use the clone bodies of that celebrity? Wouldn't it make sense that they would use those clone bodies to work the facility? Literally, the thought just crossed my mind. That is wild. I guess it would make sense because it's just like a wasted resource. Because my first thought is, who are these people who work for this facility? And like, what is their main day job? And like, do they go home to families? And are they going to blow the whistle? Or have they been MK Ultra programmed? Like, that's kind of where my mind goes, is like, when you have a facility that is so packed with workers and you're trying to keep it top secret, I just always wonder, like, wouldn't you say something? I don't know. I think the same thing about the chemtrails. It's like there's so many.
You know, she right. I say the same thing too, like with the chemtrails. But back to what she's saying, like, I would think they would say something. I would think with so many people in there, after a while, somebody got to whistle blow. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody got to drop it down when they get that. But look, and be like, look, they are cloning people. They doing this. They kidnapping people. They cloning them. You feel me? They doing this and that, and such. And at the end of the day, you feel me? Like, shit, if they kill you for telling, then so be it, motherfucker. But at least everybody gonna be aware. I ain't saying it like that, no, bro. I'm just saying, like, dude, help save the rest and help save lives of others. At the end of the day, you feel me? If you know they doing some illegal shit here, gang, then go ahead, drop it. They killing and cloning motherfuckers and using them and putting them back out here so we can really think they real. And the whole time they already done cloned them and suck them bone dry, they motherfucking potential and their characteristics and consciousness. So at the end of the day, gang, why wouldn't you? You know?
Pressing a button in their plane and being like, open the floodgates, you know? And then I'm sure that they're just told, like, hey, this is what is the rhetoric on chemtrails? It's something about, oh, the atmosphere. They're like protecting the atmosphere, right? Anyway, I don't know. It just weirds me out and blows my mind at the same time, but it's something that I'm going to have to explore later. All right, let's get back to global updates. So facilities, these cloning facilities seem to be increasing their output all around the world. Like, it literally seems like they're ramping up their cloning. Okay. What else did I write down here? I just see things and write them down. Oh yeah, this was fascinating. Assessing candidates with risk factor and influence factor. So there's like a whole separate section, and it's like out of the warehouse, and there's like a team of people who assess who would be a good candidate for a potential clone, right? Like, you have to sign your contracts, you have to be in the Illuminati or one of those shadowy sort of organizations. What is your risk factor in, are you complying with the terms? Are you doing the rituals? Are you coming to the meetings? Are you saying yes to everything we tell you to say yes to? What's the risk factor? And it feels like there's actually a number that they associate to certain people who are in these organizations as far as what their risk factor is. Fascinating. And then also, what's their influence factor? So they could have like a high risk factor of, hey, this person hasn't been showing up to meetings. They haven't been complying with the terms or whatever. Their risk factor is like 82. And then their influence factor could be like 65, right? What's their network or what's their influence? And if both of those numbers are high, they are really, really like good candidates, I guess, to be changed into a clone, which is just crazy and just, I don't know what to think of it. It's crazy. So the shadow government is looking to replace a large portion of these A-listers all around the world, not just here in the USA. And they're scared. They're doing this because they're scared, because they're losing influence. The shadow government is having a hard time finding new recruits. No one wants to join them anymore. And there's also nothing that they can really offer people. Like, I don't know, the frequency has changed, right? It's like no amount of money, power, control, whatever in the world you could give me to be happy. So it's like, the answer is no, you know? I just think that frequency is changing, right? They can't find new recruits to their organization, or at least they're having a hard time finding them. And then,
look, gang, I ain't gonna give y'all no more of that, man. Y'all better dive into her channel, gang. She got good information, good topics, good knowledge, you hear me? At the end of the day, man, that's my time. I done ran that, man, you hear me? I'm 30 minutes in, right? Your boy Latai falling asleep. Hey, at the end of the day, I love y'all, man. Y'all make sure y'all take care. Stay safe, stay out the way.
The gang, them grew up in piling. Couple of groupies to fit with. High, no turbulence, vibing. Higher than you niggas getting. Flying while you niggas flyless. Your kind is scooter dependent. I come something new when I'm driving. Driving off the roof, no ceilings. Got a skyline view when I'm riding.